Suram Suram Yatkinchit Jagatyam Jagat Tena Tyaktena Vunjita Ma Grida Tena. I forgot the last phrase.
Ma Grida Kashyas Vidhanam.
Kashyas Vidhanam. Yeah.
Yes.
It means everybody has a quota. So, yeah, that's all I remember.
Yeah, one should be satisfied with some quota, knowing that everything belongs to the Lord. Everything is owned and controlled by the Lord, and everything belongs to the Lord. And one should be satisfied with one's own quota and should not like usurp others' property like that. Others, yeah. Then after that, what is the next mantra saying? I mean, we don't have to memorize this. I mean, but it's nice to just revise.
So, like in second mantra, like if someone works in that consciousness, like he has his own quota, or he should not try to gain the others, to knowing that it belongs to others, and he has his own quota, knowing that everything belongs to Krishna. He does not bound with the karma.
Yeah, so if one knows that everything belongs to Krishna and he is satisfied with his own quota, then karma will not affect him. Law of karma, because he will use everything for Krishna service. Then it says that one who does not know like that. Let me share my screen. We'll just go over the verses for revision. The one who does not know, I'm coughing a little bit, so you have to bear with me. One who doesn't know about that everything belongs to God, and so what he will do? He will use everything for his own enjoyment. He will not have any faith in God, so he will go into the region of darkness. Okay. Then it talks about the Lord, how the Lord is faster than anybody. So he can run fast than anybody. So the Supreme Lord he walks and he does not walk. And he's far away, but he's near as well. So he's within everything, he's outside of everything. So one who sees everything as part and parcel of Krishna, every living entity, and sees Supreme Lord in everything, he never hates. So he's very, like we said, don't be upset at the instrument of your karma. There is a seminar on forgiveness being given by Mahatma Prabhu. I don't know if you're attending that. So he is very forgiving. He knows everything is happening by the law of karma. And he does not hate anything or any being. So devotee has no enemies also. He doesn't consider anybody his enemy. Then one who sees like that all living entities are part and parcel of the Lord, he is in peace. Like that. There is no anxiety, no illusion. Everything is meant for Krishna's enjoyment. Anxiety is because I want things for my enjoyment. And when I don't get things for my enjoyment, then I feel anxious. That's one reason for anxiety. But if everybody is part and parcel of God, Krishna is the enjoyer, then he's peaceful and he's in knowledge. So I am not the enjoyer, Krishna is the enjoyer, which is also the peace formula. Who knows that verse, the peace formula from Bhagavad Gita?
Bhoktaram Yagyas Tapsam.
Sarvaloka Maheshwara.
Suhrida Sarvabhutanam Jnanam Shantim Achyate.
Yeah, so if you know that Krishna is proprietor, Krishna is the enjoyer, there is no anxiety. Everything is controlled by Krishna. Everything is happening by Krishna's will. So, and Krishna is fulfilling everybody's desire. Okay. So those who engage, those who don't accept God's direction, they will engage in ignorant activities and they'll go into darkest region of ignorance. So if we take Krishna consciousness, we'll go back to Godhead. If we don't, then we will remain in the material world. So now mantra 11. It is saying that one should learn side by side. What is ignorance and what is vidya? So let's see. Vidyam cha vidyam chayas tadvedo bhayam saha avidyaya mrityum tirtva vidyaya amritam ashnute. So vidyam, knowledge in fact, cha, and avidya, nations. Nations means ignorance. Cha, and yaha, a person who tat, that Veda knows, ubhayam, both, saha, simultaneously, avidyaya, by culture of nations, mrityum, repeated, tirtva, transcending, repeated death, tirtva, transcending, vidyaya, by culture of knowledge, amritam, deathlessness, ashnute, joys. So you should learn. So does it mean that we should learn what is ignorance? Yeah, what is ignorance means what is unfavorable. One should know what is favorable for Krishna consciousness and what is unfavorable for Krishna consciousness. Like one devotee was saying, we have to be Krishna conscious and Maya
Cautious.
cautious. Maya cautious and Krishna conscious. So that means we have to know what is Maya, what will put me into Maya. If I do, what activities are favorable, what activities are not favorable for Krishna. And what is positive activity and what is negative activity. Both one should know. So there are certain Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his Shikshashtakam, not Shikshashtakam, Chaitanya Shikshashtaka, he gives the four anarthas of how we can illusion, what are the four kinds of obstacles. So he gives this let me share the screen 1 minute. So you can see my screen. So here it says Tattva Vibram. Tattva means truth. Vibram means illusion about spiritual knowledge. So what is ignorance? Illusion about spiritual knowledge. So Swa Tattva Brahm means illusion about our own identity, who we are. Paratattva Brahm, what is the nature of the Supreme? That we don't know. Sadhya Sadhan Brahm means what is the process to attain perfection? We are illusioned about it. And what is the goal? What is the process to attain the goal and what is the goal? And Virodhi Vishay Brahm, illusion regarding subjects unfavorable to Krishna consciousness. So there could be this. This is also one of the Virodhi Vishaya Brahm. What is unfavorable? That's why Rupa Goswami has given, right? In Nectar of Instruction. What are the things that are unfavorable? What does he say? Verse.
Atyahara prayashascha prajalpaniamagraha jansangreshya lolyancha tadbir bhakti vinashyati.
So these are the 6 things he has said: eating more than necessary, collecting more than necessary, like that. So why would he give that if it is only about chanting and hearing and everything? Then this verse actually comes before the third verse, which says Utsahad Nishya Dharya. That means we should know both what is favorable and what is not favorable. So that's what it is saying here. Only one who can learn the process of nations and that of transcendental knowledge side by side can transcend the influence of repeated birth and death and enjoy the full blessings of immortality. So one of the symptoms of surrender is anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya varjanam. So what is favorable and you should accept, and what is unfavorable you should reject. Okay, since the creation of the material world, everyone has been trying to attain a permanent life. Nobody wanted to die. So many people have died since the beginning of creation, and none of them wanted to die. So everyone has been trying to attain a permanent life, but the laws of nature are so cruel that no one has been able to avoid the hand of death. No one wants to die, nor does anyone want to become old or diseased. So Prabhupada would often say, one event that is sure in your life is
Death.
death. Other things, whether you get married, you may not get married. Whether you have children, you may not have children. Whether you'll become a PhD, not sure. Whether you'll become millionaire, not sure. But one thing is event is sure. Jatasya hi dhruvam mrityur. Jatasya hi dhruvam mrityur. Dhruvam janma mritasya cha. Certain, it is certain. So nobody has been able to avoid. No one wants to die, nor does anyone want to become old or diseased. The law of nature, however, does not allow anyone immunity from old age, disease, or death. So with all this scientific research, can this stop people from dying from old age, disease? No. That's the law of nature. Nor has the advancement of material knowledge solved these problems. Material science can discover the nuclear bomb to accelerate the process of death, but it cannot discover anything that can protect man from the cruel hands of old age, disease, and death. So we can speed up death, but we cannot make people. Of course, you may say, well, we have the COVID vaccine, so people got COVID vaccine and they lived. But how long? It's maybe a few more years, but it cannot stop death completely. From the Puranas, so no matter how much research you do, you cannot stop death. But we can maybe avoid some diseases, we can find cure, some vaccination for time being. From the Puranas, we learn the activities of Hiranyakashipu. So this is a long purport. We'll just finish all the purports and then we'll take a second look at Isopanishad, the flow and other things. From the Puranas, we learned of the activities of Hiranyakashipu, a king who was very much advanced materially. He had mystic power and he could go anywhere, right? He was very advanced, materially speaking. Wanting to conquer cruel death by his material acquisitions and the strength of his nations, he underwent a type of meditation so severe that the inhabitants of all planetary systems became disturbed by his mystic powers. He forced the creator of the universe, the demigod Brahma, to come down to him. He then asked Brahma for the benediction of becoming Amar, by which one does not die. Brahma said that he could not award the benediction because even he, the material creator who rules all planets, is not Amar. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 8:17, Brahma lives a long time, but that does not mean he is immortal. Okay, so Brahma also dies. So Krishna says, A Brahma Bhuvanal Loka Punaravartino Arjuna
Punarad.
Mamapetyatu Kaunteya
Tukurte.
Punarjanmanam.
Punarjanmana vidyate.
From the highest planet Brahmalok to the lowest, all are places of misery wherein repeated birth and death takes place. So even Brahma said, I cannot give you. So anybody in the material world is mortal, although he lives for a long time. How long Brahma lives?
100 years.
He lives for 100 years. And what is his one day like?
6 months. 6 months of 1 day, or no,
1 year.
1000 Chaturviga.
1000
No,
Chaturyugas. 1 day of Brahma is 1000 Chaturyugas, and his night is equally long. So 1000 Chaturyugas. That means 432,000 years, which is Kali Yuga, multiplied by 10, which is 1 Chaturyuga, multiplied by 1000. That's his 1 day, that many years. 4.32 billion years. And his night is equally long, 4.32 billion years. So his 1 day is 8.64 billion years. So like 8.64 multiplied by 30, that's is like 1 month, multiplied by 365, multiplied by 100. That's his lifespan. So he has very long lifespan. Hiranya means gold and Kashipu means soft bed. This cunning gentleman, Hiranyakashipu, was interested in these two things, money and women. And he wanted to enjoy them by becoming immortal. So he wanted to enjoy this forever. Hiranya means gold and Kashipu means soft bed, means sense gratification. He asked from Brahma many benedictions in hopes of indirectly fulfilling his desire to become immortal. So we know the story. He asked all these things to Brahma. I want to become immortal. Brahma said, I cannot give you because I am not immortal. Since Brahma told him that he could not grant the gift of immortality, Hiranyakashipu requested that he not be killed by any man, animal, or god, or any other living being within the 8,400,000 species. So Narsingadev is not one of the 8,400,000 species. He is a unique. He is not one of the 8 million. So he said, let me not be killed by any species created by you. So Brahma has created this 8,400,000. So Narsingadev appeared and killed him. He also asked that he did not die on land, in air, water, by any weapon. In this way, Hiranyakashipu foolishly thought that these guarantees would save him from death. So you cannot trick. He kind of tricked Brahma or into immortality, but you cannot trick the Supreme Lord. So Supreme Lord will find a way out. So you cannot cheat the Supreme Lord. We can cheat all the people, but we cannot cheat the Supreme Lord. Because Krishna is seeing everything and he's all powerful. You cannot escape. Like today morning in the Bhagavatam class we were reading, one can escape man-made law, but one cannot escape God's law. So whatever sin we have done, we should know that we are going to get reaction for it unless we become Krishna conscious. If we have eaten chicken or drinking and all these things, sinful activities, we are going to get reaction for it. Until we surrender to Krishna. If we surrender to Krishna, then Krishna will take away all our sins. So everybody will get. So ultimately, however, although Brahma granted him all these benedictions, he was killed by the personality of Godhead in the form of Narsingha. So then why devotees who are surrendered, they also get. Why they suffer? Because they are surrendered fully. Like Prabhupada, then why did he fall sick? And so it doesn't mean that those who are surrendered will not die. They will also die. Means they have to quit the body. That's one thing. Second thing, Prabhupada said that I am having sickness because, what did he say?
In one place he said that like why the disciple is not following
Yeah.
the regulatory principles correctly. So I'm getting there.
Yeah. So my disciples are not following their, so that means that sometimes, if disciple doesn't follow the process probably, then the spiritual master gets the reaction. It's like your dog goes and bites somebody. Then you are responsible, right? Because it's your dog. So it's your disciple. That's why one should be very careful in accepting disciple. Of course, Prabhupada did accept so many disciples because there was an urgency to spread Krishna consciousness. And when you accept discipleship, then you feel like whatever my guru says, I will do. At least at the time of initiation, there is some surrender. But afterwards, you are surrendered or not, depends, right? Because Maya is so Maya is so strong that it does not discriminate whether you have been 30 years in Krishna consciousness, 50 years in Krishna consciousness, right? Until you are not fully surrendered, Maya will not let you go. So Maya is always looking how to distract you from Krishna consciousness. So that's how our situation is. So we are in the kingdom of material world, this Maya, kingdom of Maya. This material world is the kingdom of Maya. So Maya is all around, all pervasive, and Maya won't let go until you surrender. So only way Devi Asha Gudamayi, Mama Maya Durataya, Krishna says 7:14. Mameva ye prapadyante Maya mitham tarantite. Only those who surrender to me can get release from Maya. So that's why, so Brahma granted him all the benedictions. He was killed by the personality of God in the form of Narsingha, the Lord's half lion, half man incarnation. And no weapon was used to kill him, for he was killed by the Lord's nail. So Krishna, like, he wants to make sure that Brahma's words don't go. So there were three things, right? Prahlad, so one, Nrsimhadev appeared, he kept the boon of Brahma intact. Narad Muni had promised Kayadu, the wife of Hiranyakashipu, mother of Prahlad, because she was very concerned about her child's safety. So she told Narad Muni, please make sure that my son is protected. Please give blessings that my son will always be protected. Narad Muni said, Tathastu. Yeah. So Narad Muni had said, your son will always be protected. So Prahlad was getting protected. And to keep the words of Brahma intact also. And then when he asked Prahlad, is your Lord in this pillar? And Prahlad said, yes. So to prove the words of his devotee, Prahlad, true, Narsingha came from the pillar because Prahlad said yes. So that is how much the Lord values the words of his devotee. He will break his own promise to uh, protect his devotee's promise. What is the example of that?
Like
The
he,
Kuru.
the Kurukshetra, he promised he will not use any weapons but to kill Bhishma because Bhishma was killing Arjuna. He was doing like something.
Yeah, he broke his own promise.
Yeah.
That's he will not take a weapon. And then Bhishma.
And Bhagavad Gita, Karna was throwing arrow. He
Hmm.
was throwing to Arjun's neck, but Krishna moved all the horses on the war. So it stopped the arrow going to his neck. Instead of it went to his mukat.
But where did Krishna break? Our question was, where did Krishna break his own promise? So that is like to protect his devotee. That was one instance was when Krishna had promised, I will not pick up any weapon in the Kurukshetra war. I will not pick up any weapon. One side will be my Narayani Sena. But when Bhishma was shooting arrows at Arjuna, then that time Krishna became so, and Arjuna was going to lose, and may have lost his life. But Krishna became very furious and he took a wheel chariot of a wheel and then rushed towards Bhishma. Very beautiful picture is there. And then that's why Arjuna is holding on to the feet of Krishna. Said, no, Krishna, you promised you will not pick up a weapon. Don't use any weapon. So that's one thing. Second thing, when Krishna broke his own promise. Maybe there is more. But Bhishma had promised that next day when I will fight, either Arjun will die or Krishna will have to break his promise. So that time also to protect the words of Bhishma and to protect Arjun, he broke his promise also. Anyway, so the Lord is very attached to his devotee. So he will not He will make sure the words of his devotee come true. And if the devotee is very surrendered, then definitely the Lord, because Lord doesn't want, he may lose his own reputation, but he will make sure the devotee does not lose his reputation. That's why in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. Oh, son of Kunti, you declare it. Because if Arjuna says that Krishna's devotee will never perish, then Krishna has to uphold that word. So that much he loves his devotee. That's why he says, Oh, son of Kunti, you declare it. Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. So that much the Lord loves his devotees. He doesn't want, where is at the cost of his own reputation, he protected somebody. Which another incident is there?
Rukmini.
Rukmini, yes. Ranchod,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
He's running away from the battlefield. Well, because he is to attend to Rukmini, right? So it is a blot on his reputation. But so that's why we should, if a devotee says something, then it will happen. Like in everywhere in the Bhagavatam, you see, Narad Muni said, Nalkuvar and Manigra, one day Krishna will come and deliver you. So Krishna was thinking, yes, I would not have delivered them, but because Narad Muni desired the deliverance. So if a devotee desires our deliverance, if we please the devotee and the devotee desires our deliverance, then Krishna will surely deliver. So like that we can say. Okay. So nor was he killed on the land. He also became helpless, right? When his devotee was offended. Which another story in the Bhagavatam talks about Krishna's helplessness.
Mother Yashoda and Krishna.
Amrish Maharaj.
Huh?
Amrish Maharaj.
Amrish Maharaj, yes. Durvasa Muni ran everywhere. He went to Vishnu. Because it was Vishnu's chakra that was after Durvasa Muni. So he said, can you not withdraw your chakra? He said, no, I cannot withdraw. I am helpless. I am aham bhakta paradhino. He aswatantra ivadvija. I am aswatantra. I am not independent. Although he is independent, but he's by his own will he comes under. He says, I am aswatantra. You have to go and beg forgiveness from Amrish Maharaj. So this is the Lord's nature. That's why it's called Bhakta
Tavatsala.
Vatsal. And another word that is used is Bhritya Vashyata. Bhritya Vashyata. Bhritya means servant, and Vashyata means to control. He's controlled by his own devotees. So yeah, Yashoda also in the Damodari. So nor was he killed on the land, in the air, or in the water, for he was killed on the lap of that wonderful living being, Nrsimhadev, who was beyond his conception. That's why sometimes it is said that to get the favor of the devotee is more valuable, Prabhupada would say, than to get directly the mercy of the Lord, to get the mercy of the devotee. Is because if the devotee is merciful, then automatically Krishna becomes merciful. Okay. Mad Bhakta Puja Abhyadika. He says, Mad Bhakta Puja. My devotee's worship is more valuable than my worship. Aradhanam Sarvesham Vishnu Aradhanam Param. Lord Shiva is saying, of all kinds of worship, Vishnu worship is best. But better than the worship of the Lord is the worship of his devotee. Aradhanam Sarvesham Vishnu Aradhanam Param. Tasmat Parataram Devi Tadyanam Samarchanam. So that is what it is. That's why Prabhupada Guru Puja, we should always attend. Because it is the worship of Srila Prabhupada, the pure devotee, very pleasing to Krishna. And of course, Mangala Arati is also glorification of the pure devotee. So The whole point here is that even Hiranyakashipu, the most powerful of materialists, could not become deathless by his various plans. What then can be accomplished by the tiny Hiranyakashipus of today, whose plans are thwarted from moment to moment? Hiranyakashipu would not, he was almost immortal, but his plans were also thwarted. So what to speak of? We are tiny Hiranyakashipus. Of course, not all of you, your devotees, but I'm just saying myself. Sri Isopanishad instructs us not to make one-sided attempts to win the struggle for existence. Everyone is struggling hard for existence, but the laws of material nature are so hard and fast that they do not allow anyone to surpass them. In order to attain a permanent life, one must be prepared to go back to Godhead. So it's not so easy to go back home, back to Godhead. Yeah. We have to prepare ourselves, our consciousness. Like we give a competitive exam, like IITs or IIMs or in India. So then you have to prepare. It's not going to be so easy. The exam is very difficult. That's why King Kulashekar says, what does he say? Oh, at the time of death, I don't know. Kantavarodhana vidau smaranam kutaste. At the time of death, when my throat will be choked up, how will I be able to remember?
Krishna Tadiya.
Krishna tvadiya pada pankaja panjanantam adyeva me vishatu manas rajahansa prana praya samaya kapavatta pittai kantavarodhana vidau smaranam kutaste. At that time, when my throat will be choked up, I will not be able to breathe. How will I remember him? So it is very difficult. So we have to be very Krishna conscious. We have to be very, very Krishna conscious. Like throughout our life, we should try to become as Krishna conscious as possible. So that, and that means remembering Krishna. And so, so we should chant good quality rounds. We should chant more and more. We should remember Krishna. While doing other activities also, we should chant Hare Krishna. Prabhupada says like that. We should read scriptures. We should, so many things. Because death is coming, final exam is coming. And at that exam, final exam, how you do will determine, right? In our India, we have this 12th standard, right? Where how you do in your 12th standard or 10th standard, how you do will determine whether you take arts, you take science, you take commerce, depending on your marks and all that. Or which university you will get admission into will depend on your 12th standard scores. So like that, it's a very crucial exam. So many people go for tuition classes. There are so many tuition classes and so many things like that. So one should be very serious. Serious. If you're not serious, then casual means casualty. Prabhupada says casual means casualty. So we cannot be casual. We have to be very serious if you want to go back to Godhead. As serious as we can. And we take inspiration. The process by which one goes back to Godhead is a different branch of knowledge, and it has to be learned from revealed Vedic scriptures such as the Upanishads, Vedanta Sutra, Bhagavad Gita, and Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is not taught in universities, how to go back to Godhead. So these are only taught in ISKCON, Upanishads, Vedanta Sutra, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. To become happy in this life and attain a permanent, like you are doing Bhakti Shastri. So we are studying Isopanishad. Then we'll study Bhagavad Gita. Then when you take Bhakti Vaibhav, you'll study Srimad Bhagavatam. To become happy in this life and attain a permanent blissful life after leaving this material body, one must study this sacred literature and obtain transcendental knowledge. So there is life after death. So if you want to a better life in next life, then you must study sacred literature and get knowledge. The conditioned living being has forgotten. That's why Prabhupada was insisting that Everybody should, the Brahmanas, initiation should be given to those who have studied the books. Because Brahmana is supposed to be learned. They should know what is right, what is wrong. The conditioned living being has forgotten his eternal relationship with God and has mistakenly accepted the temporary place of his birth as all in all. We have forgotten our home and we accept this material world as our home. The Lord has kindly delivered. So what do we say? Material world is like a, what is the analogy given?
Prison
Well,
house, prison.
Vision house.
prison house or a hotel. Like in hotel, you live for some days and then you have to get out of the hotel. So it's a hotel. We are in this,
Okay.
and everybody has different rooms in the hotel. Somebody who pays more will get a deluxe room. Like in a plane, there is first class, business class, economy class, and then a little bit more. So you pay more, you can sleep, you can get business class. So everybody, but that's a temporary situation in the plane. You cannot sleep in the plane forever, right? You have to land somewhere. So the Lord has kindly delivered the above mentioned scriptures in India and other scriptures in other countries to remind the forgetful human being that his home is not here in this material world. But because we are accustomed, whatever we are, wherever we live, in whichever species of life, Maya accustoms us to that. If we are a pig, then we are accustomed to living that. Those who live in the slums, they become accustomed to living in the slums. So everybody becomes accustomed to a certain standard of living. Otherwise, we will not feel happy, right? So that is why we are. The living being is a spiritual entity, and he can be happy only by returning to his spiritual home. Home, sweet home. We say like that. Okay. From his kingdom, the personality of Godhead sends his bona fide servants to propagate this message by which one can return to Godhead. And sometimes the Lord himself comes to do the work. So sometimes he sends Srila Prabhupada. Devotees like Rupa Goswami and all this, they come and they write books and they excavate the holy places, discover the holy places. They write books on devotional service to bring us back. So they come from the spiritual world. They are called, what they are called? Nitya.
Yes, Siddha.
Nitya Siddhis.
Nitya Siddha. Yeah, Nitya Siddha means they are liberated, but they come into this world to rescue everybody else. Like sometimes, if somebody is kidnapped, then the police will come, right? The police is not bound, but they are coming to rescue that person who has been kidnapped. Some operation is there like that. So Lord also does his operation. Sometimes he himself comes, sometimes he sends his devotees. So it is predicted in Chaitanya Mangal, written by, who's written Chaitanya Mangal? Which author is written Chaitanya Mangal?
Lokanath Goswami?
Lochan Das Thakur.
Oh, Lokanath Goswami is a disciple, right?
Loknath Goswami is the spiritual master of Narottam Das Thakur. Lochan Das Thakur, who has written this song, which famous song is written on Lord Chaitanya, which we sing all the time. Parama Karuna Pahuduichana. So Lochan Das, yeah. So in that he predicted, what did he say? And he wrote Chaitanya Mangal 500 years ago. So in that he predicted the appearance of who?
Mahaprabhu? Kalki? Who is? What was your question, Prabhu? I may be distracted.
Yeah, Lochan Das Thakur wrote Chaitanya Mangal, and in that he predicted the appearance of
I don't know.
Prabhupada.
Srila Prabhupada.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's saying, what did he write? So he knew that there will be a Senapati Bhakta will come. Ebe Nam Sankirtan Tikshna Khada Galay Antara Asura Jivera Philip. So how did he know from before, like 500 years, that there will be some devotee will come like this, who will be the commander in chief, Senapati, and he will Yadi Papi Chhadi Dharma Dure Deshe Jai, means they go to the Western world and everywhere. Mora Senapati Bhakta Yaibe Tathai. If some sinful people escape and giving up religious means will go to far off countries, then my Senapati Bhakta will come at that time to give them Krishna consciousness. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Sri Chaitanya Mangal, Sutrakhand by Lochandas Thakur. So that is how Prabhupada's appearance is already. And 5,000 years back, the gopis also said, Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kavibhiriditam kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Srimadatam Bhuvi Grinantiye Bhurida Jana. So Bhurida Jana, who is that person? Srila Prabhupada. It was predicted that they will come, and all his disciples now they are also doing this work. So one time Ganga was telling Brahma, oh, so many sinful people are coming and taking bath in me and leaving all their sins in my river. How will I get purified? What did Brahma say?
When the pure devotee take a bath, then you'll get pure.
Yeah, when the pure devotees will come, all of you will go there and take bath in Ganga, then Ganga will become purified. So when the devotees take bath, then Ganga will become pure from all the sins. Okay, so it's said like that. So okay, so then from his kingdom, the personality of God, okay, sends his. Since all living beings are his beloved sons, his part and parcels, God is more sorry than we ourselves to see the sufferings we are constantly undergoing in this material. You have children, most of you have children. Do you like to see your child suffer, go through stress and anxiety? You don't like to see your child go through stress, anxiety, and difficulties. So can you imagine how God would feel about us? We are going through this repeated birth, death, old age. Sometimes we are in the hospital going through chemotherapy and cancer and kidney failure and triple bypass surgery and all these things. Do you think how God will feel about all these things? And then we are depressed, we are in anxiety. So Prabhupada is saying God is more sorry than we ourselves. So we are feeling pain, but God is feeling more pain than us. That we are constantly undergoing in this material condition. That's why in that story of Akbar and Birbal, Akbar was saying God doesn't come in our religion. He sends his messengers. And then Birbal had his son's statue being thrown, you know that story. And then Akbar immediately went to relieve his grandson, who had fallen in the pond, rescue. Then Akbar said, why did you go? You could have sent your soldiers. Because it was his own grandson. So if your son is kidnapped, would you outsource it to somebody? Okay, you go and find my son. You go and rescue. You will take personal interest. What is happening, right? You don't outsource it to somebody. Okay, you find him. I will enjoy my vacation in Hawaii. And you go and find my no. So God is much more, kinder than any father and mother of this world. He is very, very Karuna Sindhu. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu. So he is so much suffering to see our suffering in this world. We are going through all this. So we should not give God suffering. We should become God conscious. Again, turn to God. Then God will be relieved. His anxiety will be relieved. Like sometimes the son leaves the home, son or daughter leaves the home out of their own free will. The parents are saying, please come back, please come back. The son says, no, I don't want to see you. I don't want to see you. So the parents are in so much anxiety. But if the son comes back, daughter comes back, then the parents feel so happy. Oh, my son has come back. So Krishna, when the living entity goes back to the spiritual world, the Gop Kumar, right? Gop Kumar. What does Krishna tell Gop Kumar? Oh, how long you have been away from me? I was waiting for you. Somehow or other, I wanted to bring you back. I was trying to find some way. So there's a nice, I missed you so much. Where were you? Like that. And he embraces Gop Kumar. And he shed so much tears, so many tears. Uh, Krishna, that it became like a whole puddle of water. It is described. And he falls unconscious in happiness that Gop Kumar has come back. So Krishna doesn't like us to be in this material world. But because we are so distracted and we have our agenda, we are thinking, I have to do this, we have to turn to Krishna. That is the main thing, right? We say like that. So the miseries of this material world we serve to indirectly remind us of our incompatibility with dead matter. So Prabhupada says, we coming into a body is an incompatible situation. Because the soul, as soul, we are eternal, full of bliss, but we are in this body which is temporary and full of misery. So it's an incompatible situation. And we are full of joy, but in this material world, we are getting so much stress and anxiety. So these miseries of material world serve to indirectly remind us of our incompatibility with that matter. We are not compatible. It's not compatible with our nature. Intelligent living entities generally take note of these reminders and engage themselves in the culture of Vidya or transcendental knowledge. So those who are intelligent, they take note of this. And so Preeti sent this, so let me share this. Here it says, Lord Narayan speaking to Gokumar. Welcome, welcome, my dear boy. I'm fortunate, most fortunate to meet you here. For so long, I've been eager to see you. My dear friend, you have passed many lifetimes without paying attention to me at all. For so long, hope had me dancing like a fool, thinking, perhaps in this lifetime, or this, or this, or this, he will finally turn his face towards me. Okay, now he will come back in this lifetime. We have millions of lifetimes, but I could still find no pretext on which to bring you to my abode, dear brother, and still follow the timeless laws that I myself have created. So you showed me no mercy. Means Krishna is telling Gokumar, you showed me no mercy. You are just doing your own thing. And I considered this as I grew impatient, full of anxiety to receive your favor. Krishna is saying, I need your favor. When will you turn? So I transgressed my eternal code of conduct and arranged for you to take your current birth. So by causeless mercy, somehow, dear boy, in that divine district of Govardhan, my most beloved abode, I myself become your guru, known by the name Jayanta. Today you have at last fulfilled the desire I have harbored for so long. Please nourish your happiness and mine by staying here. Now don't leave me. Stay here. Don't leave me and go. So, of course, generally we don't come back, but the potential is there to again come back from there. But Prabhupada says, yeah, once we had a bitter experience in the material world, you don't want to go back to this. Once bitten, twice shy. So, intelligent living entities generally take note of these reminders and engage themselves in culture of Vidya or transcendental knowledge. Human life is the best opportunity for the culture of spiritual knowledge. And a human being who does not take advantage of this opportunity is called a Naradhama, the lowest of human beings. Okay. So we are all trying to take, so we are not Naradhamas. We are trying to chant Hare Krishna. Like that. The path of avidya or advancement of material knowledge for sense gratification is the path of repeated birth and death. As he exists spiritually, the living entity has no birth or death. Hmm. So Prabhupada is saying, path of advancement of material knowledge for sense gratification is the path of repeated birth. We are thinking, oh, there are so many new inventions coming up, AI is coming up, now robots will come up. You don't know how this AI will change the world, right? Like how smartphones and so many things in 90s. When I came to America, there was no cell phone, nothing like that. But now how this cell phone and social media and internet has changed the whole world. So similarly, AI is coming up, right? Everybody is talking about AI. One devotee was saying that AI is such that you can give all your videos and your talks and everything. You can feed it to AI, and what will happen is that AI will create and your photographs and AI will create an exactly like a person like you, which your relatives can communicate with even after death. Even after your death, they can bring up your AI image and they can talk to that image as if you are there, right? Because AI will know what my nature is, how I would respond to certain things, and the person who will communicate with this AI image of yours after your death will not miss you, right? Because you will be right there. But actually, that is not the person. That is just some AI program speaking to you. But it will be so real like that. Now, also, they made so many. I saw on YouTube, Indian Army chief is saying something which he never said, but he is giving a speech as if he is saying something which he never said, right? And people who see this video, like I saw 2 days back or so, he said all non-caste Hindus should be, we are all those who are not Hindus, we are throwing them out of the Indian Army. And that video came like that on the YouTube, and that army chief was speaking. So you don't know what people can do with AI. Like Trump is playing football, right, with Ronaldo or somebody like that. So they can make an exact thing, and so it'll be difficult. Also, it's now you don't know whether it's a real video or is it a fake video. So many things will happen, and it will be create a lot of more confusion, right? Because you don't know what is the truth. If somebody has to be proved guilty, now they do all this, some things that now if you can manufacture videos, and then you can even escape or you can be unjustly punished. So this is where we are heading to, all robots and everything. But this is the path of repeated birth and death, because we are far away from the truth. As he exists spiritually, and people are afraid they'll lose their jobs because AI will write all the Java program and all these things. So you don't need any programmers, maybe very minimal. So as he exists spiritually, the living entity has no birth or death. Birth and death apply to the outward covering of the spirit, soul, the body. That's why we don't celebrate. Actually, the living entity has no birthday. Birth and death apply to the outward covering of the spirit, soul, the body. Death is compared to taking off and birth to putting on of outward garments. Vashanshi jirnani yatha vihaya navani grinati naroparani tatha vihaya sharirani jirnani.
वाशांसि जीर्णानि यथा विहाय नवानि गृह्णाति नरोपराणि तथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णानि अन्यानि संयति नवानि ते.
Anyani sanyati navani dehi. So we are getting birth. So foolish human beings who are grossly absorbed in the culture of avidya nations do not mind this cruel process. They are okay with this cruelty of birth, death, old. They're not, they're happy. Oh yeah, some happiness is there. They do not mind this cruel process. Enamored with the beauty of the illusory energy, they undergo the same miseries repeatedly and do not learn any lessons from the laws of nature. So puna punas charvita charvananam. Again and again, same thing is happening. But they don't learn any lesson. That's why and we expect a different result. Insanity means to do the same thing over and over again. So that's why Prabhupada says, you try to enjoy for so many lifetimes. Give this one life to Krishna. Do something different, right? Don't do the same thing you have done in all the lifetimes. Surrender this life to Krishna and see what happens. So like that, Prabhupada was inspiring Bhakti Charu Swami. Therefore, the culture of Vidya or transcendental knowledge is essential for the human being. And we'll end, we may not be able to finish, but we'll continue tomorrow. So does it mean that we should not work or anything? No, there is no question of stopping activities. Just as there is no question of wiping out one's temperature altogether when trying to recover from a disease. To make the best use of a bad bargain is the appropriate expression. The culture of spiritual knowledge necessitates the help of body and mind. Therefore, maintenance of the body and mind is required if you are to reach our goal. Yeah, because these are tools. We have to keep our body and mind in a very healthy condition. Prabhupada says one should be very strong in mind. One should have a very healthy mind. There's a quote by Prabhupada. So we should keep our mind healthy, not allow it to degrade ourselves. And strong physically, as much as possible. The mind should be kept in healthy condition. It says here. So that we can remember Krishna. The body should be. But that is why we want to keep it healthy, so that we can use it for serving Krishna. Many people are doing yoga, right? They want to live longer. They want to avoid disease, which is good. We all want to live happily. But we want to keep the body fit so that we can achieve the purpose of life. So we should sleep just to keep our health going. We should eat for health. We should keep the mind healthy. The normal temperature should be maintained at 98.6 degrees, and the great sages and saints of India have attempted to do this by a balanced program of spiritual and material knowledge. So there is things, material knowledge means we should know what we should eat, what we should not eat. They never allow the misuse of human intelligence for diseased sense gratification. Okay, so we'll stop there. 1 hour. Anybody like to say anything on this verse? So far, what we read in the purport. Okay, it closed. But yeah, anything, any comment? Any questions? Any?
Prabhuji, like here I had one question, Prabhuji. Like in one of the texts, Sri Isopanishad instruct us not to make one-sided efforts to win the struggle for existence. I didn't really understand the meaning of that statement, Prabhuji. What does it mean?
Where is it? Let me see.
In 77 page.
Okay, it is. Here it is. In this mantra only, right? You're talking.
Yeah, in this mantra only.
Yeah. One-sided effort.
Yeah.
Yeah, that means Sri Ishwamad instructs us not to make one-sided attempts to win the struggle for existence. Means we should take care of our body and our mind also. Although they are material things, one is to take care of the soul is the first thing, but we should also take care of our, you can say, basic necessities. Sometimes it is said that Krishna will provide. Right, if you become engaged, ananyaschintayanto mam, ye jana pariyupasate, tesham nityabhyuktanam yogakshamivaham. So Sri Ishwaran instructs us not to make one-sided attempts to win the struggle for existence. everyone is struggling hard for existence, but the laws of material nature are so hard and fast that they do not allow anyone to surpass them. In order to attain a permanent life, one must be prepared to. So, like Krishna says, I
Can
would
I?
say that don't eat too much, don't eat too little. You have to keep your body fit, you have to keep your mind fit. Uh, so you have to be also not that we engage in industrial work. That's not the idea. Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah.
Vaishali.
Yeah. Um, just to add that here it's mentioned about Hiranyakashipu. So he performed so high austerity, like he for years and years, even like ant hill also built on him. So the thing is that he did it one-sided. And a way that he did it for himself, he was thinking only about himself to become powerful. He did not want devotion of God. So what I feel is that one-sided attempt is like just taking everything on own self, but not considering others as well as Lord. Obviously, the Lord should come first. So he's making attempts only on the austerities and all those things.
Mhm.
That's what I felt about this sentence. So if we struggle hard only for our own existence, it may not be in a long term, we will never be able to surpass the birth, death problem, the four problems, and go back to Godhead, which Hiranyakashipu did. But if we consider everyone and Lord, then you don't need to struggle for existence. Everything will be like arranged by Krishna.
Hmm. Thank you.
That's what I felt. I may be wrong.
Yeah. So one-sided attempts can be on the material side. Like as you are saying, Hiranyakashipu was trying to become powerful and get immortality. So that was a one-sided attempt without devotion to God. Another thing you can say, well, one-sided attempt could be just for Krishna's service. But that is the right way, right? One-sided, and but in that you have to maintain a healthy body and healthy mind, so that we have to take care of our body and mind. So that way you can say that when you are going for Krishna consciousness also, then you have to be taking care of your health. And so, like Prabhupada says, health is the number one priority. Then second is what? Chanting. Third is reading or service. Fourth is reading. So like that. So we have to take care of our health. I think that's what, and our mental situation, mental health also, so that we can fulfill the purpose of human life. But of course, Krishna conscious engagement in Krishna consciousness, we could say, automatically makes our mind happy and blissful. So there is no separate thing required. So you may have to like learn something to earn some money in this world, right? If you're married person, and you have to, even then, Narsimha Mehta was married person, right? And he had his daughter, and his wife was accusing him. Are, our daughter has come of age. You're not finding any suitable groom for her. And Narsimha Mehta was completely like devoted. He was saying Krishna will make arrangements. It's Krishna's family. He will take care of it. And then what happened? Then slowly Krishna came and did the marriage. He provided all the ingredients. They were very poor. And he came, and there's a long story. So, but we may do our, if we are not that surrendered, we have to take care of our material side of things. Like, we may have to learn something in this world to make some money, which is not required, um, actually. So, because there are many people who have known jobs, right? They're not, but they're also living. So, so I will think more about this and see what other devotees have to say about this one-sided attempt. Because obviously material-sided attempt is not, that will not work at all. But can we do only a spiritual-sided attempt? Yes, that's what Krishna is saying. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. Give up all. So what exactly Prabhupada is referring to here? The one-sided attempt. It's a good question. This.
So, Prabhuji,
What?
Go ahead. Yeah.
in contrast of that, you just gave this right that Narsi Mehta's pastime. So on contrast to that, there is also another story that devotees share, right? That somebody was stuck in the flood, and he was saying, "No, when Krishna will come, only um, then I will go. I know Krishna will come and save me." So there was some boatmen came, some more like people came to save that person, but then that person, no, 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 Krishna will come. And then finally he died, and then something like Krishna said, "I sent you all this help." So isn't that also that not all the time you can see Krishna, but there will be help available here in this world?
Yeah, Krishna said, he said, you didn't come and save me. He said, I sent you that boatman. I sent you all these people to help you. You didn't, they were all sent by me. So, of course, Krishna gives the intelligence for a devotee who is sincerely engaged in service to Krishna. Krishna says, Dadami buddhi yogam. So he gives the buddhi also in the heart. So in that way, if the person is a true, genuine devotee, this is a story. I don't know if it is true or not. But if a person is genuinely Krishna conscious, then Krishna will give the intelligence from within, how to act and um, how to, navigate in this material world. Everything they will know also. So,
That person
What?
doesn't have faith and on. I mean, he was telling that Krishna will send, but he did not have faith. Otherwise, as Prabhuji said, he would have been that much intelligent to understand that Krishna is sending this many to help him.
yeah. Yeah, he was probably thinking Krishna has to personally come and help me. So, anyway, that doesn't really, I mean, we have to see what exactly Prabhupada, I don't know if any other
What
devotee.
I was thinking, Prabhu, can I share?
Go ahead.
In this context, what I understood that Prabhupada is giving the example of Hiranyakashipu, and he wanted to make a point that everyone in this world is struggling hard for existence, that everyone is thinking on the only one side that how can I be adjust in this material world, how can I be so rich, and so basically wanted to comfort situation in this material world, and that's why people are doing so much hard labor. But that is one-sided attempt. But he said that in Isopanishad instruct us not to make one-sided attempt to win the struggle for existence, which is everyone is struggling hard for this. And but do not this nature do not allow to pass them. One has to attain a permanent life, so one has to work and think and must prepare to go back to Godhead. So there is horizontal duties and vertical duties. So, yes, we are in this material world. We have obligations, we have duties, we have to maintain our body, we have to maintain our relationship, work. Even Krishna also says it in Bhagavad Gita to Arjun that you, as per your situation, you have to fight. You are a Kshatriya, you cannot go back. But at the same time, you have to remember. So that is a thing that we have to struggle in. We don't have to struggle so much hard for the existence. We have to just maintain for our self-preservance and healthy life, and we have to focus on that. How can we attain the permanent life? So that is when one has to prepare to go back to
Yeah,
Godhead.
so basically what you are saying is that one should not do only material attempts, right? Like Hiranyakashipu was, like as Vaishali was also saying, he was only doing one-sided attempt to win the struggle. But does it mean?
That's a mindset, right? That is a mindset that when we come in this world, if you are in, like this verse is talking about illusion, ignorance, right? Nations. So when we have no knowledge about that, that we have something else, the permanent world, permanent, what is the purpose of our life? So if in the ignorance, in the nations, in illusion life, we only think we see this material world, and we hard existence in this material world. So we have only one side story. And when we have the knowledge, when this knowledge comes, then we can see the other side of this story, other part of that. And that is that then there is a two-sided attempts.
Yeah. So, yeah, so where I'm thinking is, yeah, that is that we should not only do material, but are we supposed to do material thing, or just if we do only spiritual, then won't Krishna take care of? So isn't that calls also becomes a one-sided attempt? That okay, only spiritual, like if I surrender to Krishna fully, then everything else will be achieved. So that also becomes a one-sided attempt. What are the two-sided attempts? Means should we do material struggle and spiritual life simultaneously? Is that what Prabhupada is referring to here? Or
No,
Yes,
mm,
Prabhu. Yeah, otherwise, it is not possible. If you just do the material, also not possible. If you do only spiritual, also not possible. If you see that material in whatever we are doing, we keep the Krishna into the center and do, it will be achieved rather than going one side.
Hmm. Like for instance, there are like devotees like Narsi Mehta and so many like
But
they and so many in our movement also.
mhm.
They don't do a career, right? They did not they surrendered to and they were fully engaged in the spiritual side of things. They didn't have like a career, a job, a house. So should we say that they did not do the material side of things and that's why they are not properly you know uh, situated? We cannot think like that, right? That okay, they surrendered to Krishna, or they drop their career or whatever.
So,
But
Prabhu,
those who have
Go ahead.
Prabhu, if you are thinking that if we are doing that thing, if everybody is try to be a spiritual, we don't, Krishna will take care of everything, and we start giving up all the things, like a farmer start saying that okay, Krishna will grow the things, will not do anything, we'll just do the bhajans. If
Yeah.
we everybody start doing that, how the world will go?
Mm. No, so another way to look at it is that for devotee there is nothing material. In one sense, whatever he does it in relationship with Krishna. So whether he's growing food as a farmer, he's always Krishna conscious and is doing with the so there is then it's all fully spiritual thing, right? Even if you are doing a job or everything, if you are using it for Krishna's service, then it's not like a material job anymore. It's a spiritual thing. So
Yeah,
greatest
yeah.
yeah,
example is of
that is
Prabhu.
Yukta Vairagya, right?
Uh, Srila Prabhupada is the biggest example. I think he published books, right, when he came to US, and
Yeah.
he used to struggle so much for the normal existence, but he did everything related to Krishna,
Hmm.
and both
So
the
in that
things.
sense, also, yeah, for a devotee, we cannot say this is material. This if he's doing everything, whatever he's doing it in the spirit of service to Krishna. If he's a pure devotee, then he does it. Everything, whatever he does, is to like serve Krishna. So anyway, these were just some thoughts I was, and thank you for sharing all of your thoughts also. It's okay. We'll stop here. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.